We Are Many Things is brought to you by North York Community House. North York Community House is an organization that builds strong, resilient, and inclusive communities in Northwest Toronto. Hello, my name is Sharron, and I am the host of the podcast, We Are Many Things. And this series is premised on the idea that communities are not monoliths, that they are an amalgam of shared and varied histories, traditions, languages, experiences, and so much more. But the labels that are used to describe them rarely capture their greatness. So this podcast aims to create a space where members of various communities can explore their shared and varied experiences and what makes their community wonderfully unique. So this season, we'll be showcasing the richness and the diversity that can be found within the Black community. This is episode 7 of We Are Many Things, and we are joined by my guests, Adyam, Casey, Rickysha, and Lionel. In this episode, we'll be discussing the pride that we feel when we think of the Black community, how resilient, innovative, and impactful it is, and the idea that we still have so much more to learn. I hope you'll enjoy the conversation. When you think of our community, what are you most proud of?
That we are good. Most of them copy our stuff, our dances, the way we dress, our style, I love our people, like the way we express ourselves. We might be saying the simplest thing, but the amount of emotion and drama behind it. So no matter what we put our mind to, we can do it.
Rickysha, you're nodding your head.
I definitely agree. I like how far we've come. We've come a long way and there's still more to come. And I'm just excited and looking forward to seeing more. Within the Black community, we have diversity in our culture. I love the food, the music, the ongoing learning of our history, and the past, present, and future accomplishments.
I want to say one thing. Africa is not a country. It's a continent. Jamaica is not the only Caribbean island. There are many islands. So please, when you ask me where I'm from and I say the Caribbean, did I say, oh, you're from Jamaica? No. Say something else. And if I say I'm from Grenada, don't say, oh, Trinidad. Grenada and Trinidad sound totally different. So I just wanted to say that because I get that a lot.
Lionel, anything you'd like to add?
I can say I'm proud of our resiliency, or that, you guys mentioned up a couple of things. So I'm going to just generalize it and say that we stand out, we stand out in many ways. I'm part of the influence that we, that we have impacted upon other nations, which it make me feel that, that we are loved somewhere outside of, our community, right? And that there's not so much hate and racism, even if there still is, I feel like it's not as as it was a couple years before, So in some way we gotta start learning to put that aside and start looking forward and set our mind on something more positive, because we're doing great things here.
Adyam?
I think I mentioned it before. I'm just proud of how resilient everyone has been, and how amazing the different cultures that we have in Africa are. I think it's just such I think we have a beautiful culture, and I don't know about a lot of the cultures, but still when I see it, I'm always fascinated, and I'm this is so beautiful. And I think I'm just most proud of how resilient everyone is, how accepting I think within the community, and yeah.
Yeah, that word resilience keeps coming up, and and I feel the same way. I think that we are extremely resilient. And Lionel, you've mentioned many times, innovation. And I think we are extremely innovative and constantly creating and making, old things new and I think that's really exciting. And I think our history. I'm big on the history. I just think our history, we have a really great, majestic, exciting history that we are still in the process of creating as we speak. And our history is just mind blowing and exciting. And I think that we do great things. And I think that we have a lot to be proud of. And I think Rickysha mentioned that we've come a long way, and you might have as well, just that we have come a long way. And I think that we're continuing to grow and to develop. And I think there's a lot of things that we should be excited about. But for me, it's just the interesting really neat history, just really innovative, and that resilience that we've all mentioned before. So what is your greatest wish for our community? Rickysha?
I think the greatest wish is to be able to pass the torch onto others, especially the younger generation, and just being confident in them and supporting them because they hold a lot of knowledge as well. We should encourage this and support them as much as we can by passing on that torch to them. They can be resilient and great, just like our ancestors.
I think I agree with what she said. I also put resilience. I feel like a lot of people from the past have been very resilient. A lot of Black people, strong people that have went through so much, achieved so much in their life, that have shaped this pathway for us. And I feel like it's important that we also, during the present, be resilient and also pass on that attribute to the next generation.
Lionel?
My greatest wish is that we can come together. We can come together, embrace each other, in a way, in a supportive ways, and to really build foundation. Because I can say we do came a long way. And but we're still divided in many ways, which is sad, because I've seen a lot of us trying to open the businesses, restaurant or grocery store, and then we won't even go there. We'll go to the, somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But yet, the same person that was just, my brother who just opened a shop, have the same thing in Norfolk, in there. Mm-hmm. Why not shop over there? Mm-hmm. It's very hurting. But my wish is for that. It's for, I guess, for us to come together some way, some shape or form, and to build that support system, knowing that we can grow and we can build a solid foundation for children's children, and just like any other community who, you go to other community, they build stuff, hospitals, gyms, and schools, and so on and so forth. I don't think we're there yet.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you for that. Casey?
My greatest wish for our community is to see everyone striving and being happy. Everyone looking up for one another, not out, bringing everybody up, helping each other out, supporting each other, and being a helping hand, and to come together, because we are so far apart on some things, and the things that maybe are like the same that we want, we could come together. So seeing us strive will be amazing.
Okay, so that's a common theme, supporting each other, and I'll just add, continuing to sort of realize our potential, because there's a lot there, and just continuing to develop that.
I agree. A lot of people profit from our culture. We struggle not because of ourselves, but the institutions that don't offer long-term supports to our community. A lot of Black businesses I see will start up and then disappear. And so I feel like institutions are not supportive or helpful in the long term.
It sounds like you're saying that there's a lack of consistent support from government agencies, as the community needs support that is consistent and long-term if we all want it to thrive. And I have a question for you, which is, are you suggesting that this is a challenge that we can't manage on our own?
Due to generations of oppression and systemic racism, a lot of people need that extra support in order to move forward. The government has brought a lot of programs and services into the communities that I live. For example, the Black Entrepreneurship Program, where they help support Black people or people of color to navigate entrepreneurship. And it's only to an extent or to a certain capacity, and then they're on their own with limited or no support at all. Once the support is gone and targets are fulfilled, they profit from our communities. For example, Little Jamaica on Eglinton West was a flourishing community before the construction of the LRT. A lot of businesses in the area had to close down as a result, and so these businesses had to come together to survive, but still struggle. The government provides their support, but to an extent, and I can't help to wonder who really benefits.
Any other thoughts on that?
I feel like obviously I'm not like an expert on this, but I think I can agree with that in the sense that it's just being done in the name of like diversity. Oh, look, we're doing this just to get approval of people and to say that we're actually doing something. It's not really targeted into actually helping people, I think.
So what would it take? What do we need to see happen?
We need to recondition our mind.
Okay, so for you, Lionel, it's that we have to look at our own psychology. Is that what you're saying? Was for Rickysha, you're saying, what are you saying?
I'm saying institutions claim to benefit us. They claim to benefit us, but not really benefiting in ways that are sustainable. I feel like systemic racism is so embedded in institutions, and we as a society need to challenge these systems to create meaningful change, not only for our community, but for all. But it has to start from somewhere.
Just to piggyback off what everyone is saying, I remember years ago you would hear basketball courts going up in all the Black neighborhoods. And I used to ask myself, what about a reading club or a mathematics club or something? Because not all Black people play basketball. So I think they exploit our culture to get media coverage and to get funding from these big organizations. And they don't think about, okay, yes, we build this basketball court, but where is the safety? Who is there to guide the young people who is playing basketball or to impact some kind of wisdom or teaching on them? So it's not genuine. It's done just in the name of, to get media coverage. They're doing it because they want to be in the spotlight.
So the challenge is twofold. It's from my perspective, Lionel. We have to change the way we think, but also the support that we do get. It has to be support that with the intention of actually seeing helping to bring forth a positive result, and not to just do what you have to come in there and then look good and then disappear, and you have no idea what the outcomes are. This podcast is brought to you by North York Community House. North York Community House builds strong, resilient, and inclusive communities in Northwest Toronto. We help children, youth, parents, and seniors become active, engaged citizens who lead positive change in their neighborhoods. Find us at nych.ca. See you next time.